We have $144,000 of buying power. Where are we going to deploy this cash? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video, we're going to talk about our plans for the upcoming trading week. But if you're new to the channel, this is an income generating account where we sell cash secured puts, covered calls, do credit spreads, and collect dividends from weekly and monthly paying funds. But if you haven't already, help me out, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment down below where you're going to put some of your buying power this week. And with that being said, let's do a quick recap of last week. We collected just under $700 between option selling, and when you sell a cash secured put, you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price, and when you sell a covered call, you're agreeing to sell a stock for a predetermined price. In either situation, you get paid a nice credit. In my opinion, I think it's the best way to generate income. But remember, guys, nothing I say should ever be taken as financial advice. I am just a guy on YouTube documenting my journey. Dividends, we got a lot coming our way, but let's talk about the ones that we got paid last week. So dividends, we had just over $350 hit the account, and we did make some portfolio switches. So Coney, YBIT, and MSTY, we sold those and added to our more stable monthly paying funds. And we'll talk about that in a minute here, but just wanted to show you our trade history from last week. And now let's start talking about the plans for this cash. But real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to the Premium General. But I want to give a quick shout out to the wonderful Premium Generals. This is an exclusive group where I post private content such as educational videos on how to sell cash secured puts, how to sell covered calls, how to do credit spreads, debit spreads, as well as private portfolio updates. And any trade I am making, this group knows right when I'm making it. A lot of the times I'm doing the video and I make the trades in there. And then finally, on top of that, you get to be in every single video. So if you want to see your name, join us, and you might learn something along the way, have some fun. And with that being said, guys, let's jump back into the video. Okay, we are back in the video here. Like I said, $144,000 of buying power. We have some big plans for it. First thing I want to do is I'm looking at selling a new cash secured put. That's the first part. Then we'll talk about some of the things we want to buy. One of the funds I like selling cash secured puts on are Peloton. I don't know if you've ever used those bikes, but they're pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. At least in my opinion, I think they're pretty cool. But I was looking at doing a $6 put. I like to go 30 to 60 days out. So possibly February 20th, maybe the 27th. And I'm looking at the $6 put. The stock is currently trading at $6.36. So if I would agree to buy or sell a put, which is again agreeing to buy the stock, and I would do two of them. Every contract is 100 shares, so I would agree to buy 200 shares of Peloton for $6 a piece. I would get paid, let's say I got filled at 40, I'd get paid $80 just to agree to buy a stock for cheaper than it's currently selling for. Pretty awesome, easy money. So that's one of the plans, and again, everything could change. You know, it's a short trading week this week. MLK Day on Monday, so the market is closed. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the market is open. So maybe on Tuesday when I look at the $6 put, it's only paying, $20 a contract, and maybe I wouldn't be interested in doing it at that point. So everything could change, but that's one of the moves I'm looking at for the week. Let's get back into the account here. Now, as for purchases, I hit a huge milestone with my favorite monthly paying dividend fund, and that is PDI. I wanted to get 1,000 shares by the end of March of this month. I started doing that in November or October. I don't quite remember when I was first making our purchases in PDI, but I wanted to get 1,000 shares. I currently have it. Now that I have 1,000 shares, they pay every month, and they roughly pay around 22 cents a share. So every month, I'm going to get $220 towards my monthly income goals, which, as I've said in many videos, I want to get it where my monthly dividend paying funds cover my entire living expenses, which is roughly $2,800 between my mortgage, student loans, bad choice there, and other living expenses. I don't have any car payments or anything like that, or credit card bills, but need to eat, electric, wear and tear on my house, things like that. So about $2,800 a month. And last month we picked up $530 in our first month of monthly paying funds. This month, all said and done, we're going to get just about $700. That is fantastic growth between 1 month. And I'm hoping by next month, maybe we can get 750, 760, maybe even close to 800. Now we're not going to get 800, but somewhere in there between now and next month, as we start to get closer and closer to that monthly goal of covering our expenses with our monthly paying dividend funds. So the next look is my cornerstone funds, CLM, CRF. I want to get these to 3,000 shares apiece by the end of 2026. I have 1,685 and 1,780 shares respectively. So I will continue to make purchases there. And now that I've hit my PDI goal, I don't really need to add any more money into that. Each day I can take that money, put it into the cornerstones. I do want to make some daily buys for the most part on T-SPY. I want to get this to 200 shares. I don't have a timeline on that. I will just continue to do that. And I want to add XPay to my portfolio. I did have the Premium Generals Group vote on that fund, and I truly believe it's going to get in the 40s, and I'd really like to wait till it would get there. I'll give it a couple more months. If it doesn't get there, then I'll just add it. But then TDAC, this is not going to be a daily purchaser, but I will continue to make periodic purchases as I have some cash. I'd like to get it to a respectable 100 shares. Just get our feet wet in there and add that monthly income. So those purchases will be coming this next week. ORC, I cannot believe how high this stock has run. That's unfortunate. I know that's terrible to say, but I want to buy it around $7.20. It's currently trading at $8.30. I want 500 shares, but I only got 400. And I'm just not going to purchase any more shares around the $8.31. And I know I should be happy for the total return, but when I invest, I'm not really interested in the stock going up. I want to buy as many shares as I can while it's cheaper. That's what I like to do. So I know that's contrary to what a lot of people want, where they want to buy something and just watch it go up. And at some point, I do want that, but I want years of it staying pretty close to a price so I can just make purchases and purchases. So I do need to get a little bit more real estate exposure. ORC was the first one I picked for REIT funds, but I am going to add another position here when the account gets closer to the $100,000 threshold. We're at $78,000. So I'll continue to make purchases there. But I still haven't decided fully what fund I want to add from a real estate perspective. I was thinking about ticker symbol O, Realty Income. I've owned that before. And let's see, it's $61. I think I had it when it was right around in that 49 to 50 range. So I don't know if I feel comfortable buying it at the $60 mark. So that might not be one we add for our real estate. But XPay, like I said, I do want to get this added to the portfolio. I really believe it's going to get down to about $49, $48, and that's really when I want to start making purchases into this fund to add it for another payer. The only weekly pairs I have left in my portfolio, and I don't plan on adding any more money to them, is TSYY, COYY, and ULTY. They each pay weekly, and I don't plan on selling them at all. Just kind of keep holding them and get the weekly income and use that income into more reliable funds. So at this point, I just don't have a plan to get rid of them, but I don't have a plan to add to them. So those are not funds. The weekly paying funds, again, they generate nice income, but they're just decreasing so fast in share price. But again, we're trying to maximize the income that comes through to them so that we can use that income, put them in more stable positions. But Comment down below, guys. Actually, one more fun, sorry. Another one I want to add is GOF. I want to get this position added to my portfolio, and actually I might start buying some shares this next week. But another paying fund, let me know in the comments below, guys, if you have some other monthly paying funds that I did not include in this portfolio. And if possible, make sure they're not yield max funds or I'm not really interested in any granite funds. More so, I'm okay with maybe one. I already have enough round hill exposure. So if possible, something that is not already in those funds. And I'm okay to some quarterly dividend payers as well. If their yield is decent enough, for example, if the quarterly payer pays the same amount as the monthly payer, I'm okay with that. I will add that position, and then, I can add 3 quarterly payers, and they're going to pay me the same as the monthly payers. It's just less periodically. So I'm okay with that. The account continues to generate income. We're growing based on income, and we got a ton of buying power to utilize, plus a ton of option positions to roll for next week. But with that said, guys, I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to the NFL playoff games today, tomorrow, college football championship on Monday, an exciting weekend of football. So with that said, guys, I'll see you in the next one.